community organizations and groups, as well as the survey, which will be out there. Also on the website, we're encouraging anyone, if you want to provide some information that you think you're not able to provide via the survey, you can contact our board clerk or JG Consultants with that information. So we're roughly looking at about April 18th, and all these dates are tentative. These are best case scenarios. April 18th to have our community input and leadership profile review, and that'll be done by the Board of Trustees. And I'll tell everybody, this is so important the next 3 weeks. We can't stress this. The next 3 weeks are so important because it's the information that we obtain during this time which will build that profile. And so if you care about what the next superintendent is like in terms of characteristics, this is your opportunity to provide that information in which we as a board will utilize to approve a candidate profile, and that's what will go out to various candidates to apply. So when someone looks at the district, it'll tell them what we as a community are looking for in our next superintendent of schools. And that's why that profile is so important. So we ask everybody to participate in that. Then we'll have an application period which will be roughly April 19th through May 12th. Keep in mind, it says April 19th through May 12th. That'll be the initial application period. But if it's the desire of the Board of Trustees to continue accepting applications, we have that right. Even after we start interviewing, if we have another application that comes in and we review it and we think it's worth taking a look at, this board reserves the right to do that. May 18th will be when we review the first candidates. May 22nd through June 5th is when we're looking at rounds 1 and 2 of interviews. And then we're looking at a timeline potentially as early as June 5 that we may name a lone finalist. Now that's the best case scenario. A lot of that will be dependent upon the Board of Trustees and how we feel about the process. At this time, I'm going to take a pause, and I'm going to ask James Guerrero to come forward and kind of talk about some things that are important to him as they assist us in this search, and also talk about some of the things we're doing and how he thinks those are beneficial.
Thank you, sir. Hello again. Just for the record, James Guerrero, President, CEO, JG Consulting. First and foremost, I want to thank the Board of Trustees who are here this afternoon to support this important announcement. I'd also like to acknowledge and underscore that of all the years that we've been representing school boards, community school districts, this is the first time we've ever had a preliminary press conference. So this is a very spirited group of trustees that you have serving your wonderful community. We understand and accept the tremendous responsibility it is to find a successful superintendent to represent the students, the families, the community within Killeen Independent School District. So first and foremost, I want to thank all of you for the vote of confidence, the Board of Trustees, the staff, for assembling such a wonderful press conference for us to introduce ourselves and this process in a very formal and well put together manner. So again, to reiterate what Board President Williams has highlighted, the purpose of these town hall meetings, engagement meetings, what we also refer to as stakeholder meetings, is critically important. We believe in transparency. We believe in inclusivity. So for us to create a leadership profile, which for us we consider to be synonymous with the job description, we need to hear from everyone. So once the webpage goes live, if we can ask all of you in the district, the community, staff, students, anyone who has a vested interest in the superintendent search process, please participate, provide us with your candid input, your feedback. What we will do is create a leadership profile that we will present tentatively on April the 18th, and we'll do that publicly, where we can share the input and demonstrate a reflection of your voices that we've heard from throughout this process. So again, in the spirit of transparency, we welcome that input. We welcome that feedback. You will see me quite often, as I like to say, beating the streets, boots on the ground here locally, visiting with individuals, visiting with groups, asking for candid input and feedback. We'll synthesize that information, provide a synopsis and a legible report to the Board of Trustees, make that a public-facing document, and then invite their input and feedback. And then what you'll often hear me say is that we work at the will of the board. Our responsibility is to you as taxpayers, to you as staff, to you as students, and to the Board of Trustees. So we represent you. So it's important to acknowledge that your input, your feedback will be certainly entertained and captured in a meaningful way that the Board of Trustees can make sense of what we're looking for as far as those characteristics, those traits, and those qualities of the next superintendent to serve Killeen Independent School District. So again, thank you for your time this afternoon. We look forward to representing you. I look forward to getting to know all of you, and we welcome this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, James. We talked about the town hall meetings. We talked about the website, which will be dedicated for information about the entire process and the survey, but I just want to add this. This is a monumental task that's going to require a lot of hard work. The board is well aware of this, but we can't emphasize the importance of community input, because the candidate profile, I want to say this again, the candidate profile, if we are true to who we are and we build a candidate profile, that should tell you the type of person that you're going to get. And if that candidate profile is not reflective of what you feel good about, that's not a good thing. But it can't help but to be reflective of what you feel good about if you participate in the process. And so we're encouraging everyone. The letter that's going out to our parents and our employees, we're saying tell your neighbors, tell your friends, tell your coworkers. Participate in this process. 40,000 plus students need you. We're doing this process slow and methodical to ensure that we dot every I and cross every T. I am beyond confident in the ability of this Board of Trustees to get the person that is right for our students. And while I say that, I want to make sure I acknowledge Board Secretary Marvin Rainwater, who's in attendance. Thank you, sir. Ranking member in attendance, Ms. Joanne Purser, as well as Mr. Oliver Mintz. I appreciate you being here today. Everyone up here understands the importance of what we're doing. And I just want to remind everyone, it's all about the kids. Provide your input. Thank you.
Questions?
JG Consulting, where are you based from? So our physical address is in Austin, Texas. Our location, if you need a physical address, is 3616 Far West Boulevard, Austin, Texas. You can easily find our company information on our website, jgconsulting.us. Our contact information can be found there, and I'm also happy to share my personal cell phone with all of you and provide you with a business card this afternoon, if that's helpful. Yes, sir.
And were y'all at the last meeting for the different groups that we're going through, just making sure?
Yes, sir. If you're referring to the interviews, yes.
All right, and just for the board president, why did you guys go with JG Consulting?
Well, we had 3 groups that presented to us. We felt really good. I felt really good about all 3 of the groups. Let me correct that. But when we got to the point on the day we had opportunity to discuss it, there was a clear consensus amongst the Board of Trustees that JG Consulting gave us the best opportunity to move this process down the road in a timely manner, but also in a manner that we think the entire community is comfortable with. There are some things that they talked about in their presentation which we thought were very innovative and forward-thinking that we feel as though our community will be very receptive to that and will also help us to engage them as much as possible.
No further questions? Oh, yes.
I'm Reverend Dr. Harold Bernard, First Vice President with Killeen ACP. I wanted to know where on the website would the posting of the superintendent position be located?
Okay, so when you...
Will it be easily accessible?
Yes, sir. So when you go to the homepage, there'll be an icon on the homepage that says Superintendent Search, front and center. Yes, sir.
No further questions? All right, we appreciate y'all being here.
Thank you.
So much.
James.